Nervous? You guys nervous a little bit? We're starting.
Here we are.
New age.
Bouncing wow.
I'm pretty excited.
I am.
I love video games, and I love talking about video games.
I listen to enough podcasts. I think I'm an expert at this.
I love radio shows like Howard Stern, Opie and Jimmy, all this stuff. So this is a big step for me. And the fact that we're also just talking about games too, it's like two great things coming in at once.
It's pretty awesome. I love it.
Welcome to the Puddy Squad Podcast. All right. Let's do roll call on this bitch.
Let's do roll call on this bitch.
Yeah. Anyways,
Bush's Baked Beans is not a sponsor of this podcast.
alright, so we're going to start with the person that has the most platinums in the group.
I'm Jason, and I have 32 platinums, and I don't know how many else of you losers have platinums. But I know I have more than these two guys.
Combined, probably.
I have 32, and I'm planning on getting another 2 this weekend. We'll see how that goes.
Keith?
I am the Puddy, I am Keith, and I have about 14. But I have more trophies in total than Jason, so suck it.
My trophy level's higher, and so is my platinum count.
Buddy, I don't care if your trophy level is like shit.
It is 19, by the way.
Oh my god.
Almost 20.
Ooh.
I don't care if it's 100, I still have more than you, so suck it.
On PS4, it's recorded that I have 7.
7?
But I'm pretty sure I got 1 or 2 on my old PSN account. So I'm going to say I have 9 altogether.
I can't say anything about
So still,
PSN
ours
account.
combined is still less than me.
Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad. Also, it's starting to get really hot in this room, sadly. But I don't want to turn that thing on just in case to sound anything. Anyways, whatever.
No, we can
We'll
bear
endure.
with it.
We'll endure, yeah.
My name is Aaron, and I am the lesser of these two.
That's
Or
right.
us three, all three of us.
You say that, but it's just not true.
No.
He does this all the time. He's like, oh, I'm not that great or whatever. But yeah, he's like the fucking man.
No,
He's the
not at all.
Yeah, you are. Don't you give yourself so little credit. It's insane.
Okay, here we go. EA's this week. It's like the
What is-
bread and butter of video games.
What is EA?
And everything.
You screwed up.
It's
It's
E3.
E3.
I said it. Ah, damn it! I was looking at my phone when I meant E3. Son of
What a
bitch.
perfect week to start our podcast just randomly. Then E3.
Exactly. E3.
E3.
Not
EA was at E3, but
EA was
awesome
the first
segue,
conference.
EA was the first conference.
It was. So
let's
even
talk
though
about that, please.
even though you made a mistake, it kind of made it good.
Exactly.
So
It was a pretty shitty segue, but it works.
speaking of pretty shitty, compared
right.
to all the other conferences, I did like it. I'm not gonna lie, I liked it, but apparently someone did not.
sucked ass.
Why?
It started out okay. Titanfall 2, multiplayer looked cool. Never played the first one. My Xbox is forever in the corner of shame,
Which is a drawer.
which is in fact a drawer.
Which I was very upset to hear that it was a drawer, not a corner.
I don't have a corner to put it in my room.
Liar.
Like bastard.
You're such a liar.
But with Titanfall 2, it's cool because they're adding the story mode to it, which the first one didn't have, and then it like died in a week.
That's right. 2 does have a story.
2 has the story mode,
And it's going to be on PS4.
and it's going to be on PS4.
So, yeah, I might actually try that at some point.
Is what they probably should have done the first time, but
I don't know, of everything that they talked about that's on this list here, there's nothing wrong with the list except for like the Star Wars stuff.
the list, if you just look at the list, is fine.
By the way, we were looking up the list on IGN.com. Don't fault us. We didn't do our own research. We're stealing theirs.
That's fine.
Thank you, IGN.
Thank you, IGN.
You may be questionable on some of your reviews, but we love you.
We love you.
Specifically the IGN wiki team, because this is a wiki.
Is it wiki?
It is
It's a wiki.
Oh. Well, I didn't know they had their own wiki.
So, impressions, Titanfall 2.
I didn't see it.
Well,
Did anybody but me see it?
I mean, I saw it, and I watched the EA conference. Never, like you, I never played the first one. And the second one looks kind of neat. I mean, it just looks like Advanced Warfare on speed.
I am actually watching it right now. I'm watching the conference.
With big mech suits and zip line things where you can grapple people and grapple stuff. And
when I was watching it, all you anime nerds out there, all I could think was Attack on Titan. I don't know if either of you two have seen it, but it's like basically almost this. Like you're zipping around these big giant titans and you're just taking them out. There's a lot of death, and the last chapter may have devastated me slightly. But
I don't.
It's definitely something I could watch somebody else play, but I don't know if I would ever play it myself. I like the fact that it's coming to PS4, and I like the fact that it's not just multiplayer. So that kind of entices me to try it even more, that it has a single-player campaign.
Yeah.
But it's still questionable for me.
I don't think I'll get it.
The fact that, even though this is a spoiler for later, even though everyone's probably seen it at this point, the fact that it has zip lines and stuff, it just reminds me of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I'm not a big fan.
I remember the zip lines.
Infinite Warfare did.
No, not Infinite Warfare. It's Advanced Warfare.
No,
Infinite Warfare.
Advanced Warfare is out already.
Oh, you're talking about the other one.
They had
yeah. Advanced Warfare also had like a grapple hook thing on one level. I don't know.
Oh, I remember that.
It was like
it
whatever.
Did
that's what I thought you were on. Yeah, in the campaign. That's what I thought you were talking about.
But multiplayer is still like basic Call of Duty.
But the Infinite Warfare gameplay, when they were going through like zero gravity and shit,
they were doing that. That was really cool.
And stuff.
But that's future.
Yeah, but I just.
But also, I'm not really excited for Infinite Warfare.
It's just more of the same. It looks like it just looks like more Call of Duty, bro-ham. Hey, let's play this first-person shooter, kill you dead, no scope 420 bitch game, and I just
Titanfall or Titanfall. Okay.
Titanfall, and of course Call of Duty is that.
Yeah, we'll talk about Call of Duty when we get there.
Mass Effect Andromeda.
Holy fuck!
Yes, yes.
There was almost nothing there, but what I did see.
It looks beautiful.
Holy God.
I cannot wait to play it.
I have to admit something. While I do have the collection, I have not gotten past the first one.
You are
need
a
to
monster.
Play this trilogy immediately. I'm being completely serious.
I'm wearing Mass Effect socks.
I know.
Yeah.
I gave you credit for the Mass Effect
trilogy is
socks.
like one of the best, I think anyways, one of the best stories in the video game series ever. I mean, a lot of people questioned the ending of the third one.
They're a bunch of babies.
I'm not really going to go into it.
Bunch of babies, what I say.
But
I heard all about the ending of the third one, and I'm just like, man, if I wanted to get into this series, if I got to the end and all I had was choices of different colors, I would not be very interested in that.
Yeah.
But did it get a little better with the update? Because they got that free update in there?
I will say, with the extended cut, I may have gotten a little happy and I may have clapped.
Really?
Yeah.
Because if it would just ended like I heard, because I got all my stuff during the time from Angry Joe, as much as I don't know if y'all like him that much or whatever.
Nah.
I don't really listen to much of his stuff.
I watch him every now and then because I think he's kind of funny.
But he did a really good job, I thought, of talking about the Mass Effect 3 ending and everything, and the indoctrination theory.
Oh God!
That
don't
was
even talk
there.
to me about that.
But
because now I just platinum Mass Effect 1, and I was walking through it, and in the indoctrination theory, it's like you notice like in the corners of the screen, it's like all shadowed and stuff. And I'm like sat there and watching, I'm like, holy fuck! I can't stop thinking about this now. It's from this far back. It's from the first Mass Effect game. The corners are colored or like shaded in. I'm like, is it real? I don't think it is.
So, like, that's what made me think, okay, well, if I got into it and I got there, that theory would just be like, wow, that's probably not what they're going for, but
I don't think it
it's
was.
Cool if they just kept it.
I think it was just a design thing.
That's exactly what it ended up being, because apparently they cut the extended cut one, fixed that, and made that not a thing. Make that indoctrination theory just completely out of the water.
I didn't know that.
But Andromeda, very exciting.
It's super cool too. Like going to the whole Andromeda galaxy, I'm really curious where it takes place. I'm pretty sure it's before the Reapers invade.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day. I want to hear that theory again because it makes a lot of sense about how they left before the Reapers came, and by the time they got to the Andromeda galaxy,
all the Reapers had, like the Reaper stuff had already happened.
Yeah, the trilogy happened while they were going to the galaxy.
Because when you think about it, in the Mass Effect, they get around most of the time by the mass relays. They have FTL, but they can only go so much with that. Their main thing is the mass relays. And I'm like, how the fuck did they get there? Because just going with what they have as far as FTL goes, that's a while.
Yeah.
And then even then, when they get there, I mean, like, that galaxy ain't gonna have mass relays. That's something I've been thinking about. How are they gonna get around? They can get around in like short hops, but I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's like you can only go so far, and then your ship overheats and like everyone's dead.
I'm just wondering if this takes place years into when Andromeda is supposed to crash into the Milky Way galaxy.
No. That's like millions and billions of years.
Technical wise, what they've shown so far looks beautiful.
Beautiful. That Asari girl?
Great.
Yeah, oh my god.
Exactly, with the face paint.
Yes.
Yeah, she looks really awesome. They brought it to the Frostbite engine, which is what they
was kind of surprising, but also not surprising.
They're going to use this now. That's what they use for Battlefield and what
Dragon Age Inquisition.
If EA wants to go solely on that engine, it's good that they already.
It's
switched.
a great engine because especially with
Battlefield.
Talking about Battlefield,
which we'll get to later.
Going back to Battlefield 4,
yeah,
just looked great. I mean, the destruction and everything was awesome, and everything about it I thought was just great. I really enjoyed it, and it's a really good engine. It seems to be working really well for them, and Mass Effect looks really, really good. So I'm definitely excited for that.
Speaking of Frostbite, I don't remember which one it is, but one of these sport ball ones. It's either Madden, NFL 2017, or FIFA 17.
Sport ball.
It's one of those.
It's FIFA.
FIFA? Is it FIFA?
It runs. FIFA that's going on Frostbite.
It's on Frostbite as well. Yeah,
that's what Madden needs to go on.
Like I knew about Mass Effect was going to be on Frostbite, but the FIFA thing kind of threw me off. I didn't know it was going on Frostbite.
I just want to completely skip Madden because there's nothing new.
Does anybody here care for football?
I care.
I like football and playing football games, but I mean, I'm not gonna. You can't really sit down and have I don't think you can have an extended conversation about Madden. I mean, yeah, I'm sure the mechanics will be a little bit better, and there might be some new features that will make the game better. And it does look really good. Like the Madden games in the past 3 or 4 years. Well, since the current gen came out, it just looked really good. And this one looks even better. So, I mean, besides a graphical upgrade, there's probably not much more to it.
Yeah, because you can't talk about the gameplay because gameplay is pretty much the same thing from every other year.
Yeah, I mean, they might have some UI changes and
the biggest
stuff like
change
that.
I've seen in Madden recently was back in, 2012? It's the one that had Drew Brees on the cover, and then the next year it had the guy from the Tennessee Titans, I think. And the engine was just so different, like the physics and everything. But it was so weird because it felt better in the first one because every time you tackle someone, the guys would lay on the ground, someone tries to get up, fall.
Yeah. What I do
So
enjoy
ridiculous.
in the recent Madden games too is how more real they've made the physics. Like whenever they brush up against someone, they'll turn that shoulder or like they'll drag that arm behind them because that person's holding them back.
Yeah.
Or they'll like brush their head against something and it'll make them jig or jag this way, and it looks really good. It looks real.
It just stinks
really
that
smooth.
As the time goes on, there might end up being one really major, awesome Madden game in this generation. Every other one will feel the same, but you'll get that one, and then it's time for a new generation. This
makes me call back to another football game, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but you could play in first person, and with VR being on the horizon right now,
it was.
It would be. I'm still on the wall about VR a little bit. I mean, I can definitely see the potential in it for sure.
Yeah, I am too.
But for something like Madden, that would be something that they could definitely look into because playing football on that level of realism in first person would just be crazy.
I think it was ESPN NFL 2K. Whenever they had the rights to the NFL franchise before EA just took them up. I think the first person games were some of them were EA or 2K. If I can remember correctly.
It could have been 2K. It very well could have been a 2K game.
Because I remember there was a 2K game where you had your own crib in there too, and you could go around your house and look at all your accomplishments and all your customized football team stuff in there, and pennants and everything. It was kind of cool. And it was first person too, so you could just look around in there. Yeah. Something like that might be interesting, but at the same time, it's still just more football.
I like how I said we couldn't have an extended conversation about Madden, and here we are having an extended conversation about Madden.
I mean,
Talk all you want. I can't say anything.
FIFA, more sport ball. I'm not really interested in football.
I think it's cool that they're having a single player campaign almost.
That is surprising. I can't say anything.
It's a pretty neat addition.
Mm-hmm.
I walked out at this point. I don't care about sport games, but I came back and it was like, I was watching it with Aaron, or we were on the party chat, and I was like, is there a story mode to this thing? Or?
Yeah, apparently there is. James, he's funny. He was talking to me about it. He's just like, that just seemed cringeworthy, that guy coming out there. And I'm just like, dude, it seemed really
You don't
cool.
know my name, but you will.
But I like
Even when he first came out, his mic wasn't working, so you just saw his lips moving. So, he was just like, I mean, you can't see me do it, but he was just like... and then his voice kicked in, and it was pretty funny.
Pretty much all he did was just...
I think I remember hearing that, but like I said, I walked out of the room. I took a potty break.
I mean, I figure fans of football and FIFA in general will, take a stab at it and enjoy stuff. I mean, there's a lot of people that enjoy doing that kind of stuff, making your own character and stuff in other sports games. So,
yeah.
I mean, I can definitely see the appeal, but it's just not for me personally.
Not me neither. Every time I play a FIFA game, I always just kick the ball a couple times, always lose it, and I get mad. I'm just like, I don't want to do this.
Now I'm blurry right now about this, but Fee, wasn't that like the little forest creature thing?
It was the forest creature.
Yes.
When they first started showing, I was like, this completely looks like Ori in the Blind Forest. But as it went on, it's not similar. Ori in the Blind Forest is like 2D, but this is like 3D, and they're like climbing trees and junk. But it looked interesting. I don't think I'll get it, but it looked interesting. It's kind of like what they're doing. I think EA did like the Yarny thing.
It reminded me of a darker version of Tearaway in a sense.
Did it? I didn't play Tearaway.
So.
I could see that. I mean, because don't you go through as that little fox-looking thing, and you learn different languages of all the other creatures, and you just work together against these. There was these weird the
monster things or the fly
they look like
thing?
giant minions.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing,
giant black silhouetted minions.
One thing I heard about Fee that kind of makes sense to me, at least, is it's kind of something sort of like Journey. Like in Journey, if you did the Monkey Way, you can only talk about that little chirp sing thing. And in this one, the whole thing is just the singing
sounds. Yeah, exactly.
That was cool.
I heard that.
That's also what I liked about Journey 2 is whenever you did run into somebody else, and you could just press the button, you just be like, boop, 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 just make different noises or whatever.
When I play Journey, I just turn that off. I don't want to play with anybody.
If we're talking about Star Wars next, I'm going.
Let me talk about Journey real fast. Right. I really, 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 really love Journey. I mean, it was really short. You could definitely sit
2
down
hours?
and play it in one sitting very easily. Mm-hmm. But man, especially when it came re-released on PS4.
That's where I played it.
My God, it looked beautiful. I loved it.
That part where you're skating across the sand and in the back, it's like an orangish.
And you're going downhill and you're in some structures.
On the dunes and stuff.
Yeah, oh my God.
It looks so good.
That's the part I remember for
most
Journey.
incredible looking video game part I think I can remember in a long time.
Yeah.
From the PS3 anyways.
Now,
if we're talking about Star Wars here, I'm just going to...
the DICE Star Wars stuff was what? It was...
there was the Battlefront VR thing.
Yeah.
And then Battlefront in general. And
then the Outer Rim. They talked about what, the Outer Rim expansion or something?
Yeah, was it Bespin or something, Cloud City?
Yeah.
Is it Bespin? I think the plan's Bespin. I may be wrong. Star Wars people will probably kill me. But Battlefront...
Star Wars!
Oh, see? Battlefront itself, I'm kind of burned out on. In this one, they only briefly did the Battlefront VR thing. It was more in Sony's press conference, I think.
I would definitely be interested in trying Battlefront in VR though.
But it's like a...
Star Wars sucks.
Oh my God. You're in a...
$52, Jason.
No!
Disney ruined the Star Wars universe.
Why did you do this to me? Fuck you, Disney. Oh my God. I read 52 your goddamn books, LucasArts. Whatever the heck you are. Karen Travis, Tori, what's his face? Authors. I liked them. And then they were like, no, we're going to take those 52 books you love, Jason, all those characters. And they're dead. They're worse than dead.
Disney rules.
It's like in Doctor Who where Rory got sucked into the crack in time and then he never existed.
Wait, I'm back. Doctor Who?
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Rory got sucked into the
Professor
time vortex, the time crack, where the TARDIS exploded, and he's like, he didn't exist anymore. That's basically what they did to all my favorite Star Wars characters.
But Visceral game. When did they say it was coming out?
Oh, wait.
Is
More
that
Star Wars,
Amy?
I gotta go.
Is that Amy? That's Amy's game. That is. I think they said 2018.
2018. That's exactly right.
And they showed that like 3-second trailer where it's got this guy coming out in like a trench coat and he's like on Tatooine.
Yep.
And
I'm going to tell you exactly why I'm excited for that game, because Amy Hennig is working on it.
Fuck yes.
Because Amy Hennig basically fronted the Uncharted the Uncharted trilogy.
Yes.
Well, 1, 2, and 3. And then, she had some input on 4 before she left Naughty
Yeah,
Dog.
I wonder how much of her stuff was like kept or taken out in that. But
I remember seeing some tweets from her to somebody, because they were trash talking. I think they were trash talking Naughty Dog in some form or fashion, and she was all about defending Naughty Dog. So I mean, from looking at the tweets, I mean, there doesn't seem like there was any bad blood, but from what she said, there was still a decent amount of what she put into the game in the final product of Uncharted 4.
I didn't know that.
But I mean,
the fact she's working on a Star Wars game, I remember when that was announced, and I almost lost my shit.
So I'm excited for that just because Amy Hennig is working with it.
But we know virtually nothing about that. Just like the next one, the Star Wars Respawn game, which, fun fact, is the same developer that's doing Titanfall 2. So I thought they were like a small studio, because I remember when Titanfall came out, it was like a bunch of people from other studios came together, and it was still just a small studio. But I guess they've expanded or something, or I may just be wrong. But they showed like just like little like motion capture stuff, and then at some point they like transitioned to have like real lightsabers or something. I don't know. That's kind of cool.
This sucks.
Okay, Keith.
Oh, was that when they were showing the mocap?
Yeah, that was.
It looked like they had.
That was Respawn's game.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we're done with Star Wars, Keith.
Yeah, we're done with Star Wars. Now we're going to talk Battlefield, which, besides Mass Effect, was what gave me the most excitement of EA's conference.
Battlefield was easily the best thing they've shown.
This is my top thing from E3. I really tried to think and get into everything else.
Battlefield 1 looks very awesome, because I've been a fan of Battlefield since 3, and I loved 3. I played it on PS3, so it was relatively limited on multiplayer wise, because it was only like 24 player matches or whatever. But got Battlefield 4, loved it. I love 32 on 32 stuff. I like the campaign. The game in general just looks beautiful, and I like how it feels. I like how it has some more realistic aspects to it, like compensating for bullet drop and stuff like that. I mean, it's a more realistic, natural shooter to me, anyways. And Battlefield 1, I'm really glad they're going back in time, because instead of pulling a Call of Duty and they're just going more and more and more in the future.
Yeah.
Which can be either a really good thing or a really bad thing.
According to the internet, it's a really bad thing.
Yeah, according to the internet, it's
according
a very
to me,
bad
it's
thing.
a very crappy thing.
Because, I mean, I feel like not as many people would get Infinite Warfare if it did not include the remastered Modern Warfare.
Nah.
That's just my opinion.
I joke that it's going to be the best Call of Duty, selling Call of Duty, but if it is, it's because of Modern Warfare.
I can definitely see your appeal for it, though. I mean,
yeah, I love space stuff.
Yeah, that space stuff is like your bread and butter. For sure.
I almost lost it when they showed that one trailer and they like went up in space and it was like they're getting ready to shoot and then all the big capital ships like blew up. I almost like had an orgasm.
Yeah.
Guns in space.
Pigs in space.
But back to Battlefield. It looks awesome. I love how they've just improved on their mechanics and physics and all that stuff. It just looks really beautiful, and I can't wait to try it for sure.
Did y'all see the article? I can't remember when it was, or that when the development team first pitched it, the guy that's in charge of saying or greenlighting games said no, absolutely not.
Oh yeah, didn't they basically just like build a small demo?
Yeah,
like a physical demo.
Because it's World War I, and World War I was like all trench warfare junk almost. And the guy was like, no, how do you have a game where it's like you shoot, peek up, and you like take pot shots of people, and then you peek down, which on fun reflection is probably most multiplayer shooters now that I think about it.
Yeah. Well, final thoughts on the EA's conference?
Sucked ass.
I found it very funny that Snoop Dogg was there just smoking a blunt.
Playing Battlefield, just casually playing Battlefield with a big old blunt just hanging out of his mouth. He's
no
Snoop
regrets.
Dogg. He doesn't give a fuck.
Who cares?
He's like, yeah, double G, baby. That's a very horrible Snoop Dogg.
The stars for me were easily Mass Effect Andromeda, even though it was like virtually nothing there. But
yeah.
Again, I'm wearing Mass Effect socks. I like Mass Effect.
Mass Effect and Battlefield for me, that was it. Besides that, it was pretty lackluster.
Yeah.
Fee looked very interesting. Battlefield was my favorite thing from E3, so I have to give EA credit. I missed Titanfall 2, but I'm not interested in Titanfall in general. Mass Effect I need to get into. I like the story mode for FIFA, but the two things I just want to talk about just real quick was that Snoop Dogg thing and the whole Zac Efron and
I missed that
what was
part.
Zac Efron doing there?
Yeah,
I missed that part.
Especially like before it started, whenever they were leading up to the hour-long gameplay or whatever.
Yeah.
And they had that one dude, I don't remember the guy, but he was sitting there with Zac Efron and Jamie Foxx. And Zac Efron just looked so out of place. I'm like, why the hell is Zac Efron here? I can understand bringing in some celebrities, but he just looks so out of place.
Snoop Dogg you can totally understand because he's into video games. Zac Efron, no, he just looked like, what the fuck am I doing here?
I did enjoy, because I watched some of the gameplay stuff whenever they did it after their conference.
Yeah.
And I did enjoy seeing Terry Crews.
Was he there?
Very large, muscular black
That's
man.
awesome. I love Terry Crews.
And yeah, he was into it, man. It was fun watching him play.
The one thing I want to bring up, though, is that Battlefield 1 trailer where it's like they showed a teaser trailer and then like, all right, we're going to show you the rest of it. And then they showed the same like first half of it again and then it continued on more. And then in like the Sony press conference, they showed it again or something. I'm like, all right.
Oh, did they show it again in the Sony press
conference? It was in one of the other press conferences. I can't remember which one. They did show it again. It's
I feel like it was on Microsoft.
Was it Microsoft? It was the exact same
I feel like it was
trailer.
Microsoft because I didn't see the Microsoft press conference.
And you don't
but
remember
I was scrolling through Facebook earlier, and on the Xbox page, I saw the trailer.
It might have been Microsoft.
That's why I feel like it was Microsoft.
We'll find out. But I thought that was just kind of weird.
It makes sense that EA's got it on Microsoft's, though. Because EA's more Microsoft, as like Activision is more Sony at this point. Alright, so we are done with the first part of EA's conference. The only other thing I was going to mention was the whole Madden tournament that was going on, but I just want to say as just some random fart on the internet, good luck to those guys. I don't fucking know who they are, don't really care, but hey, if they...
Kudos to them, they can make money from playing video games.
There you go.
Living the dream.
So, now we're going to take a little bit of a breather here. When we come back here in just a bit, we're going to talk about Bethesda's conference. I'm very excited.
This is the official end of part 1. EA has been discussed, and we are putting it in the books.
Fuck you, EA.
Well, all right then.
I wouldn't say that. I mean,
I want to see more Mass Effect.
They're making Mass Effect. Why you gotta say that?
Give it to me.
You should be mad at anybody. You should be mad at Disney.
Give it to me.
Jesus.
That's what she said.
Sock it to me.